Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Reshmi Mukherjee and in my channel we discuss ICC, ISC, English literature and English language topics. It is for class 9, 10, 11, 12, all 4 classes, and we will also start CBSE courses soon as many of you are asking for it. But yes, today what we are going to do is Macbeth, and it is a topic for class 11. We already know that those who are interested in checking the topics like Tempest and others like the class 12's topics, you can of course check them in my playlist. You will find separate playlists for all your topics, and you can also find question papers, discussions, MCQs that will help you out. Those who are from class 11, do check this. I have very recently posted Act 2 Scene 1. We have started. I follow this Oxford book, and it has quite some this book is actually from my school days, because I also had Macbeth in my school days. So we have already finished Act 1, the whole of it, and we have only Act 1 and Act 2. So we have already finished Act 2 Scene 1 also. So, and I will try to finish as many possible, okay, the whole of Act 2, because we have 4 scenes only. So as fast as possible we will finish it, so that you can start preparing practicing the session also, right. Visit the videos repeatedly, write the meaning, so that it helps you in understanding better. This is not that easy, I will say, but it is very, very interesting. So Act 2 Scene 1 we have done, and and if you haven't followed slothskill.com, as you can see below it, check the description box for the website link, because it has a lot of content. You can join my WhatsApp channel, Telegram channel also for updates and practice series. And okay, so this is for year 2023-24. Let us start. This is the first slide. This slide you must be able to recollect if you have followed Act 2 Scene 1, because that is the place where we had discussed how Macbeth, in his soliloquy, he was saying that I can see an imaginary dagger in front of me, but the handle is pointed towards me. It takes me to Duncan's chamber. There is blood on the blade, but I can't touch it. It is not tangible. Possibly it is because of it is a creation of my heat oppressed brain, right? Do you remember the words? So keep on memorizing, because certain words are very important. You have to quote them, like heat oppressed brain. If you keep on reading now, it will stay in your mind. You don't have to memorize them like that, because see, heat oppressed brain, I have read this one so many times. I have been teaching in my batches. I have been teaching over here constantly, daily, so it is there in my mind. So if you also keep on reading, you will remember it, okay. It's not very difficult. Next, Scene 2, Macbeth's castle, enter Lady Macbeth. So we have seen that he was completely ready. The bell had also been rung, and he was moving towards Duncan's castle, Duncan's room, to murder him. So that part has ended. Now we will see what Lady Macbeth is doing. Macbeth's castle, enter Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, that which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. So her job was to spike the drinks or drug the drinks of the chamberlains, of the servants. So she has done it. Okay, she says that when I was spiking the drink, when I was drugging the drink, what happened was I also had the same drink. Okay, I also drank the same wine. But the thing is, the same wine that has made them all sleepy and unable to understand kahan kya ho raha hai, kahan kya chal raha hai, that same wine has made me bold, has made me strong, encouraged me in this job, in this work. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. That means the same drink that made them fall asleep so easily has actually given me that power. Okay. An owl shrieks, hark, peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. So she says that I can hear the owl. Now the owl shrieks at what time? Of course in the night. Raat ko sunai dete hain uski awaaz. So she is saying this owl is actually kind of a bellman. That is telling me that the time is good night, and this is the time when these kind of evil deeds are done. Remember the last scene? Macbeth was also relating to Hecate. He was talking about he was also talking about Sextus, Star Queen, right? All those are very, very important. So he is about it. That means Macbeth is in the process of doing the murder. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock. So the doors are open, nobody has closed the door, and Macbeth can just go. And whoever those servants are there to protect Duncan, what are their condition? Mock their charge with snores. So they are already sleeping and snoring. So they are mocking their duties. They have fallen asleep. But it was not their fault. Their drinks were drugged. I have drugged their possets, okay, and that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die. So now the situation they are in, they are sleeping so soundly that nobody can say whether they are actually asleep or they are dead. Because when you are sleeping, it's like a practice of death, isn't it? Nobody can, same thing happens when you die, you don't know after that what happens to you. Same way, when you fall asleep, do you know what is happening, who is coming in your room? You will know only when you are woken up by that sound. If you are not woken up, you don't know whether your mother came in, whether a ghost came in or something like that, right? So it is just like a practice of death. Next, enter Macbeth with two bloody daggers. So we see this lady Macbeth's character, she is roaming around and she is, she is pondering about it, that what she has done. She has courageously, spiked the drinks and everybody is asleep, and this is the time my husband is going to do those, commit the murder and be the king. Okay, so she is very happy and satisfied. Next we see in the mid of the night all these things are happening, and suddenly we see enter Macbeth with two bloody daggers. So just like the previous picture we saw this dagger, this was an imaginary dagger, but this is the time when he is actually holding two daggers and has come like this, okay, with the two daggers in his hands, okay. And seeing this, our Lady Macbeth is amazed, like she is shocked that what is this thing. Lady Macbeth, who's there, what ho? So from that chamber only, from somewhere outside, Macbeth is screaming, who's there, kaun hai yahan pe, who's there, what ho? Now this is a suspense element, I'll explain you. Lady Macbeth, alack, I am afraid they have awakened. So what is this sound? Possibly the attendants are screaming, possibly the attendants have woken up, and it is not done. Hey Bhagwan ji, kaam to ho hi nahi paya. Possibly Macbeth has not been able to do it, and not the deed confounds us. So possibly we could only attempt killing Duncan, actually we could not kill him. Hark, listen, I laid their daggers ready. So I laid the daggers. What was the plan? I will set the daggers of the chamberlains ready. Once Duncan is murdered, that dagger will be used to murder Duncan, and those daggers will be left by the side of the servants so that they can be blamed for the murder. So I have done everything, I prepared everything, right. So possibly while I was preparing all this, as you can see in this picture, he could not miss them. I have already went to the chamber, prepared everything for Macbeth so that he can come, just take the dagger, kill him and then come back, putting the daggers beside the servants. So what has gone wrong? Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. Imagine the cruelty of this lady, okay. Remember the last part where she said she could dash the brain out of the child if she had promised to do that, okay, that cruel she is. Now she is saying that I thought that I have come here, I have placed the daggers ready so that Macbeth can just take hold of the dagger and kill Duncan and come back. So I can just do the deed myself, na? Macbeth is getting afraid, okay fine, I will do it. So she took the dagger and she went near the bed of Duncan and she was ready to kill Duncan. But that moment she suddenly saw in that moonlight that this man looked exactly like his father, okay, so resembled his father, and therefore she was unable to do it and she came back, okay. I had done it, so otherwise I could have done this deed. My husband, Macbeth, I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise? So Macbeth has come with two daggers in his hand and he is saying, I have done the deed, okay, I have finished doing that murder, committing that crime. Did you hear any noise? Okay, I heard some noise. Did you hear it? We already know Lady Macbeth has heard a noise, right? Possibly Macbeth's noise only. Macbeth has possibly heard some other noise. So this is a suspense that who has heard whose noise, if there is any trace, okay, if there is any proof, if there is any witness of this crime. I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak? So Lady Macbeth is asking, did you speak or somebody else spoke? I heard the owl scream, but were you speaking? Macbeth, when? Now, as I descended while I was coming down. Macbeth, hark, who lies in the second chamber? He did not answer, he is in his confused state only. He says, who was sleeping in the second chamber beside Duncan's room? Donalbain, that means Donalbain is the second son of Duncan. This is a sorry sight. So Macbeth again has changed the topic. He is saying, oh my goodness, I just cannot tolerate, there is so much blood over here, there is my goodness, I could not look at Duncan after the murder was done, okay, I am shrieking like that, okay. Lady Macbeth, a foolish thought to say a sorry sight. Now we see Lady Macbeth is very strong over here. Later on we will see what will happen to this lady. Okay, so Lady Macbeth, oh, why are you saying such foolish stuff? Don't worry about it. It is not a sorry thing for you. You can become a king if you have murdered Duncan in reality. Macbeth, there's one did laugh in his sleep and one cried murder. So somebody, sometimes it happens na, when we are sleeping, we sometimes, when I was very small, I used to sing while I am sleeping. So there are many people who can cry, who start speaking in his sleep. There are sleepwalking scenes also. Some people walk during sleeping. So there are things people do while they are asleep. So this time the two people, everybody was drugged. So nobody was awakened, but in their, in their that sleep state only, somebody screamed, somebody said, I'm sorry, I missed the line. Yes, somebody started laughing. Another person cried out murder. Okay, possibly he had seen a dream, and that was very coincidental, right? A murder was actually happening. That they did wake each other up, stood and I stood heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep. So they woke up, possibly they had seen some dream, and then they again fell asleep, and they said their prayers and went to sleep. Sometimes we say, we say our prayers so that we do not see bad dreams. So they also said their prayers and went off sleep. Lady Macbeth, there are then Lady Macbeth says there are two lodged together. So there are two people there. Okay, two people sleeping there. Possibly in the second room, Donalbain and Malcolm, both of them were sleeping, and inside Duncan's room, possibly the two chamberlains were there. Okay, Macbeth, one cried, God bless us, and amen, the other. So this is a kind of a ritual, jaise Muslim people will say na salam walaikum, the other one will say assalam walaikum, walaikum assalam, sorry, I am not quite aware of it. So this is a kind of greetings. Sometimes when I say good morning to the students also say good morning, wish it back, right? So we wish each other luck. Okay, we wish each other good luck, right? So like in Bengali, like I am a Bengali person, so we say namaskar and the other person will also say namaskar, same way, it is a greeting. So this is the way we greet each other. But when in Christian religion, there is a way ki when somebody says God bless us, whoever hears it, just like whenever we hear the national anthem, we stand up. Even if it is in a school beside our house, even then we will stand up. So as soon as it reaches our ear, it is necessary that we say amen. God bless us, sunai dete hi, we should say amen. But as they had seen me with their hangman's hands, that means when they saw me, somehow in the darkness they could not see me possibly, but they cried out, God bless us, and another one said amen. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us. So they say God bless us and they said amen also, but I who was standing there and I needed it the most, but wherefore could not I pronounce amen? Why couldn't I say amen? I had most need of blessing. When you are doing something very, like before going to the exam hall, we say na, hey Bhagwan, protect me, may I pass this exam, may I get good marks in the exam. We say it when we need it the most. So Macbeth needed it the most at that time because he had come to murder Duncan and he needed luck that time. But even then he could not say it, so he is very worried. Why couldn't he say it? Possibly his mind was thinking that he was the devil himself, and that is why he could not pronounce the name of God, right? So he is very worried about it. Consider it not so deeply. Lady Macbeth says, don't worry about it, it's okay. Lady Macbeth, these deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad. If you keep on thinking about what you have done, this is not right, this is not right, aap pagal ho jaoge, you will get mad. Okay, you will go mad. So better just do not think about it, right? So we can see, as in this picture, that Lady Macbeth is going on still helping Macbeth in accepting the crime that he has done, which Macbeth cannot. Next, Macbeth, methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Very, very important line, okay? Say, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life, sore labours, bath, balm of hurt mind, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast. The whole paragraph means that sleep is something which balms, like after a very tired, very tiring day, very busy day, when you sleep, it is like the balm that you apply on your head when it is paining a lot. Immediately you get a lot of relief, isn't it? So as soon as you sleep, what happens? Next morning you wake up with that same energy and you can start afresh. So that sleep is actually, it brings a new day. It's like a new start of your life every new morning. So it soothes you, it is very innocent, it helps you always. Okay. So it is a chief nourisher in life's feast, and I have killed a man while that person was sleeping. Actually, Macbeth is a general. He has always learned to fight face to face. पीठ पीछे छुरा फोकने वाला काम is not his work. He never does that, right? So he cannot accept that he has actually killed somebody when that person is completely helpless, sleeping innocently. Okay. Lady Macbeth, what do you mean? Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Important line again. That if Glamis has actually murdered, because Glamis and Cawdor are the same person, just Cawdor is a new title that he has got. Because Glamis actually murdered sleep, a person sleeping, he has murdered a person who is sleeping. Cawdor, that means his new title, that man will never live happily ever after. Okay, Macbeth shall no longer sleep. There is also a saying that possibly he never slept properly after this. Lady Macbeth, because it is everyone's conscience. If you do something very bad, it will eat you from inside, not let you live happily. Lady Macbeth, who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things? Why are you worrying yourself with all these nonsensical thoughts? Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. This is nothing, just wash it off, na? There is blood on his hands. So he says, just wash it away. Okay. Why did you bring these daggers from he still has those daggers in both of his hands, the Chamberlain's daggers. So the Lady Macbeth is asking, why have you brought these daggers here? You had to place them beside the servants, smear the dress with Duncan's blood. They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. Macbeth, I will go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. So I am so very, I am so much anxious because I have already murdered Duncan. I can't even think of it, and you are telling me ki go to that room again and see it. I cannot. Lady Macbeth, infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of the childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I will gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. So the blood on the daggers have already dried up. So Lady Macbeth says, you are so very, coward, such a coward you are. When somebody is dead, he is same as the picture. कभी कभी हम लोग करते हैं ना, रूम में एक फोटो रख दिए which has a picture of a monster. You will see if you have children in your house, they will not enter your room. They will say, बाप रे, room में monster है, I am not going to get inside your room, because they believe that is a real monster. Possibly you placed it there because you thought it is very artistic, such beautiful eyes it has. That is why you have placed it, because you don't consider it a monster. You consider it as an art. But the child thinks it is a real monster, it will come out of the picture. So Lady Macbeth is calling Macbeth a child because he cannot distinguish. He is afraid of the dead also. But the dead is just like a picture. Okay, so I will go, if I find that Duncan is still bleeding from that wound that has been made, I will take blood from there and smear it on the Chamberlain's body, on the faces. Knock within. So there is a knock heard. This is another element of suspense. Macbeth. So Lady Macbeth has gone. Now Macbeth is in deep thought. What is he thinking? Whence is that knocking? Who is knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? So every noise is terrifying me. Appalls, terrifying me. What hands are here? So he looks on his own hands and says, what are these hands? They pluck out mine eye. Very, very important paragraph. The speech. With all great Neptune's ocean, wash this blood clean from my hand. Neptune is actually the god of the sea. So he says all the seas, that means all the waters of all the seas, if all of it come, can it wash my hand out of this blood, free from this blood? No. This hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine. Incarnadine means that my hand, the blood on my hand is capable of staining all the ocean's water, but it cannot remove the blood from here. That means it is the conscience, it has made a mark in my heart, in my brain, that I have committed a crime. And I can, even if I can wash off this blood from my hand, that memory will be there in my mind and in my heart that I have done something very, very cruel, right? So that is, I will never forget it, and I will never be free from this guilt. This is his guilt conscience, S-C-I-E-N-C-E, conscience. You have to remember these words. If you cannot, then you cannot frame proper answers from this play, right. This is one of the best plays of Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote 4 plays which are considered his best plays. Okay, you can remember it like H for Hamlet, O for Othello, okay, L for King Lear, okay, and then again M for Macbeth. These are the 4 plays which are his best plays. Enter Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth. So she has already done the deed and has come with all those blood on her hands. My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. Also, one more thing, do remember that you can share your question papers if you want to discuss them with me in my Google account, that is slothskill.contact@gmail.com. Okay. So, we see again Lady Macbeth has come back and she is again trying to manipulate Macbeth, comfort Macbeth, saying, don't worry, you know, there is a, if you still remember Merchant of Venice, you know that livers as white, remember Bassanio's speech, livers white as milk, then hearts white. This means that you are a coward. So, you are such a coward. See, my hand is also red in color, but my heart is not as white, as cowardly as yours. Knock within. Again that knock is heard, but this is a real knock. Macbeth could not understand now whether it is a real knock or some imagination of his. So, Lady Macbeth says, Lady Macbeth hears it and says, this is a real knock. So, knock within. I hear a knocking at the south entry. So, this is a very big house. Now, from the south entry somebody is knocking. Retire we to our chamber, a little water clears us of this deed. So, we can see how different they are. Macbeth cannot believes that no ocean, not the 7 oceans can wash the guilt from him, but Lady Macbeth says a little water will wash off this, and your constancy hath left you unattended. You are so very, you are such a coward, you cannot control your own emotions, and that has left you unattended. Knock within again. Hark, more knocking, get on your nightgown. So, wear your nightgown fast, because you are in your party dress, in your banquet dress. People will see you, whoever has come will see you, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. They will say that Macbeth was awake when this happened. What was Macbeth doing? So, they will question us. So, it is better you change into your nightgown and you appear as you were sleeping when all this happened. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts. Don't keep on thinking about the same thing. The deed is done. Macbeth, to know my deed it were best not know myself. So, I can only forget about this deed if I forget myself. So, I have to become somebody new. I have to call myself a murderer and not Macbeth, because Macbeth was a general. That Macbeth is dead. He has actually killed a person in sleep. So, he can no longer be called that same old Macbeth. Okay. So, he can only be called a murderer now. He has to have a new identity. I have to forget my old self so that I can accept the new. Knock within. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst. That means he wishes, kash aisa ho pata ki Duncan was not dead, and this knocking could wake him up also, so that I could have been saved from this extreme amount of guilt. My conscience would not bother me then if Duncan would not be dead. Right. So, exit. The scene ends over here, and this is a very interesting one, and next one is also very interesting. It is a kind of a break from this, you know, it is a kind of a break from this extreme amount of tension that is built. So, sometimes we have this advertisements coming up in a very exciting show of ours. Okay. So, same way this will also be seen as kind of an interposer that will come in between. Okay. So, we will see this in the next, possibly in the next class. We will finish all the scenes from Act 2 and then we will discuss the questions and answers from here. I believe this has become very easy for you. Every word, every line is important. Skip nothing from here, because this is the murder scene, this one and the previous. All important parts I am already telling you whatever is important. Whichever line can come as explain the line format. Okay, like suspense is a very important question from here, element of suspense and thrill. Okay. So, that I have already given you lines from where it is important. So, if you have any doubts, do ask me, and I want to see that you are sharing the videos more, so that I can bring more videos on Macbeth. And anything else from your Prism and Rhapsody, do let me know, we will discuss those also. Death of a Naturalist, yes, somebody wrote to me, 2 or 3 people already, and also in my website slothskill.com. So, I will see to it, it is there in my website. In the channel we will possibly do it in the next session, right. Thank you so much, bye bye, hope you have a nice day.